That's it. It's just doing and I'm doing and I'm doing and I'm doing. Hello, hello. If you're new to me, my name is Linda. I am now live on our Facebook page, Seaporium, on our online store or our website, and at seaporium.com, and on YouTube. I do have another little device here, so I will check YouTube comments every now and then. I've dismantled my register computer so that I could have another computer on, and hopefully we're not messing with our internet. Internets, as some people like to say. If you're new to me, please give us a follow, share if you like what you see, and show your friends. We did start this project. I'm coming here on the first and third Wednesdays of every month after my live with Iron Orchid Designs. Iron Orchid Designs is a fantastic company we're an authorized retailer for, and it's a bunch of DIY products like transfers that you rub on, and we're working with the clay and the stamps. So typically the stamps we're going to be stamping on, although I do have some stamped parts. The big wow of this is our impression. So we're doing impressions with the stamps, we're stamping with the stamps, and in particular we're working with this one called Portobello Road. It's a beautiful stamp set. It's new for the holidays. You can make these really cute little DIY, Christmas village themes, and you can make it your own. Okay, you can make them tall, you can make them short. If you're handy, or if your husband's handy, or your son's handy, you can make little wood blocks and make these little houses. You can do nice little artwork, ornaments. These would be cute little or gift tag ideas. Possibilities are endless. Wrapping paper, something special for someone, and they like that Victorian look. This would be great. So this is the set we're working with, and whoa, do I have a lot going on. In my head, these aren't ever as complicated as they are, but I've noticed that trying to explain the madness within a time frame of like an hour or less can be quite the challenge. Quite the challenge. It's not hard. And truth be told, I was a little more scattered today than I normally am in my head, only because I've been busy. I've got this dresser that we're working on. I got to get the mailbox done, which I'm actually going to kind of start the one side again. I just don't like it, so I'm going to start it again. I still got the window I haven't gotten done, and I've got a vanity for a custom piece that I got to get done. And so I couldn't spend a lot of time. And so finally, before I left Sunday, I was like, I got to do something for Wednesday. I'm now closed Mondays and Tuesdays, right? So I thought, well, I've always wanted, once I saw Portobello Road, my thought, of course, me being me, I'm all about the Halloween. I wanted to do it like a haunted house. It's not always easy to translate haunted house. If you're good with the gothic tones and the darks and things like that, it's probably easy. For me, I'm not a big crafter so much as I work with walls and furniture. I love to craft. I don't get to spend a lot of time with it. So necessarily putting the ideas together, it happened too fast for where I was going with it because I didn't have a block big enough to do the stamping with. And I started playing with the idea, right? I thought, well, I'll find a board. I'll find a block. I'll just make it work, right? We'll do it on a piece of plywood if I have to. And so I did these little mock-ups on this sheet of paper. Well, it's cardstock, really. And you can see I cut a door out of it. You'll see that in a minute because I didn't bring an extra piece of white cardstock with me for my life. So we used this. So I had the idea of like what our cobblestone could look like. Let's get rid of the banner. Oh, and if you ever need to find us on any of the social medias, it's all at Seaporium. It's just Seaporium. No one else has it. It's me, myself, and I. So, yes. And then here on YouTube, it's /@Seaporium. So we have this mock-up of like if I did the black house, what it would look like with white paint or ink. I have this cobblestone look, which is really better for what we're doing. And I can do the black trim and then the darker roof. And then I did the idea of the black house with that really dark, but not so white, okay? I was just playing. So the idea was to stamp these. It didn't happen because in the moments of whatever moment of my days off, one of my days off, I know what it was. I saw a couple friends doing Mara, Vintage Retail Therapy, had a class recently where they did the hidden hollow door on a boot with a bunch of different things. And then on the Iron Orchid Design page recently, the other day, our friend Beth, she did hidden hollow door, and I'm telling you about hidden hollow, but I'm not showing you what I'm talking about. So let me show you what that is. I have a hot glue gun, but what did I do with the hidden hollow? I inksnade it because it's just too big. It's too big for what we're working on. And if you're watching on replay, please ask questions, say hello, do it all. I will get back to, it's underneath the table. Okay. Okay. So this is the hidden hollow. Okay, it's got the cute doors, the little gnome doors, fairy doors. But for this jar, it's too big. It's too big. So we're going to inksnade the hidden hollow. Of course, I didn't pull that out too close to the video time because this is how I work. And I had a backup plan. So what I did was I stamped the door, again, out of that cardstock. If I had a thicker cardstock, I wouldn't need to do what I did now. Let me get rid of this now. Everything's available, by the way, on Seaporium.com. All right. I cut the shape of the door out of the clay. I rolled it nice and thin, and I stamped my little card paper with the door, and then I put it over my rolled clay, and then I cut around it. I didn't have any excess. I don't want it sticking out behind the door, but I just want it so that the door, you know, it's a little more forward. Right? It's not stuck into the cobblestone. And I wasn't sure that just putting the cardstock on the clay was really going to kind of pull it off. I really wanted this to kind of stand out. So, but I didn't glue it on because this is still very wet. All of this is still pretty wet. So if I set this down, we're going to smash the cobblestones. So we got to be careful. So when everything's dry, the door will get glued on. But let me talk you through. You can watch the video on our Facebook page. I posted I shared it to our Facebook page after. And so you can kind of get caught up, but I'll step you through it really quick right now. Okay, step one. I made this cobblestone look by rolling out my clay. And I just use the clay. All right, and that is literally their Iron Orchid Design air dry clay. Oh, I'm not on this view. Hold on. There we go. So the clay, roll it out. And what I rolled it out on, I can't find. I have a dirty piece of acetate. So the stamps, you know, you've heard me say this over and over again. You sand the stamps when you first get them. Peel off those clear sheets that are on top. These, okay? You peel these off. You get a piece of sandpaper or a sanding sponge. We have the Dixie Belle sanding sponges. They're perfect for this. And you literally, actually I'm going to grab a piece. I don't have a sanding sponge, but I know I have a piece of sandpaper handy. We're going to do it. We're doing it. Sometimes you just got to do it, right? I'm going to sand it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we got to put this in water. And that has glue on it. That's not good. That was actually a decent paintbrush. I hope the glue comes off. You hear this? I'm literally sanding the stamp. Because when you get them, they're as shiny as this. And nothing going to want to stick to that. Hi guys, I got 5 likes. Thank you. You're awesome. And I know some of you like to, be under the radar. That's fine. You be that way. That's okay. I still love you. All right, we're going to sand it up and down. And if you're watching on our website, I am so sorry, but and even if it's on replay, I still haven't found. I don't think I can get a way for you to comment. I don't have the money to do a higher subscription. I shouldn't be doing this as it is, but I have so much fun playing with you guys and creating. So it's, everything going on. All right. I think we're moving, you guys. I'm not, I don't know what's happening with the sale of the store, but I think it's happening. I think they might be holding off on this because they came across a hiccup on the restaurant, but from what I understand, they're going to do it. And they say no rush. But someone called me, and they have a spot, and it's not going to charge me any more rent for the first year anyways. It'll be more the second year, but it'll give me a year to decide if we can make it work there. Right? And it's also a spot that if I had to sublet and I wanted to slow things down, I could do that. I could go on a smaller scale. And my heat would be good. At least I think so. It's not electric, it is gas, so it's got to be better than this. All right, so you just wipe it down after. And that's the first time that's the only time you're doing that. All right. So we've prepped our stamp. Not that it matters for when you're pressing into clay, but if you don't do it when you first get it, you might forget. And then you're going to wonder why your stamps don't look so pretty. Okay. Oh, I got 3 hearts. I got 5 likes. You guys are the best. So then, okay, we rolled out the clay. What did I do with my hunk of clay? Here. Okay, literally, I really wish I knew I did with my other dirty piece of acetate. So I have these other pieces that I had already used for rolling out. And they're already, they've been out in the elements and they're getting a little dry. So we'll just keep playing with these just because, I don't want to contaminate my good clay. And who knew I would be so addicted to clay, you guys? When I first started with furniture and all that, and I saw, came across Iron Orchid Designs, and I came across the molds, I got it. You guys know I get it. But I was afraid. I was so afraid to start with the molds. I don't know if any of you are like that, maybe with another product, but I was just afraid. And who knew? Because it's probably my go-to now, right? I think it's my go-to. All right, we'll just... This happens to me all the time here. When I was doing my video, I had my piece of acetate that I was using to roll on. It was all dirty with cornstarch. And I set it down. And I thought I'm pretty sure it's over here. I'm pretty sure it's down here. Because I can picture myself doing it. Right? But I can't find it. So there's that. 1. These are nice new ones. So we'll just use a new one. Only because this gives it a nice slick surface. All right. Just dust it with cornstarch. If you can, you want to keep dusting this. I thought it was dusted well enough because it was white-ish, But apparently it wasn't, because it's doing what pie dough does, and it's getting little bits stuck to it. But that's okay. We're just playing, right? And you just roll it out. And you can see why my clay is getting all dried out. Between adding cornstarch and being out in the elements and this and that and the other, it does dry in the air, you guys. So be mindful of that. And I would do it, in the stages. First stage is gonna be probably rolling out this. But you also kind of have to be ready for, maybe I would do a stamp of the windows and then cut the stamp out where the opening is for my window. I did this because I want to have the glass show through, because we have a little girl peeping through here and a little bat. I'm not sure that's translating too well, so we might just take them out. If it doesn't set up yet. Anyway, so we rolled out the clay, right? I'm actually going to do another window, because I had 2 windows done, but in my moving this around, I lost the crossbar. So this, I'm just going to toss this. That's it. I hate doing that. You have no idea. All right, so you roll it out, blah, 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 blah. You get your textures. I know I have them handy. Okay, so here's brick. Here's our roof. Where's our cobblestone? Where is the cobblestone? Here it is. Again, dust it with the cornstarch. And you just press it right in there, okay? I'm just going to go right over it. And I show in the other video, like, to stagger where they meet on the next row. Because if you keep doing them in the same rows on the ends, I do believe it become apparent where you join them. Okay. Do a nice impression. Your clay, unless you're doing it like dotting your I's and crossing your T's and doing everything perfect, having guidelines, like if you took transfer tools or popsicle sticks and you had a fondant roller or a regular rolling pin that you're dedicated to this kind of work, you have a nice even surface. I think the brayer does work pretty good for you, but I'm never that great with that stuff, so I go over with my fingers and kind of press in where I feel like the clay is thinner. And then you kind of pull it back, you've got your impression, and I did like a strip of it so that it covered the whole jar. This is a Prego sauce jar, and I didn't go across the whole 12 inches. I was just a little shy. All right, and then it just, that kind of width. I'm not going to worry about where these don't exactly meet, because we can put a little bush or something there. We're going to put something there. So let's roll this smooth. Oh, that's a hot mess. Sometimes I'll take, like I was saying in my other video, I'll take I'll wet my fingers with a rag and work the clay with the damp fingers. That works wonders when it's starting to get a little dry. So now that we have that rolled out, let's do our window again. Now there's other fancy windows, and I explained in my video why I chose this one. This is 8/8. I'm doing, I did the 4/4. Okay? It's not the fanciest. I would like to do that window. I would have really liked to do, this one, but they're odd numbers. So it's not 4/4. In my head, it's going to be 4/4, because we're going to take these two and make it one square, these two make it one square, these two make it one square, and these two make it one square. But when you have odd numbers, you can't do that. So that made my decision. Now, you don't have to do this part. You could just have windows, okay? And I would do it like I did the door. Do it over thick cardstock and put it right over it. See, this time I'm actually putting a ton of pressure on here because these windows, anything in the stamps, if you're doing impressions, you really don't want anything with a really fine details because it's not going to show up well for impressions. So this window is also one of the simpler windows, so it's good for this. It's also why I couldn't do the doors. There's just too many fine details. It just wasn't translating to pressing into clay. Okay, I want to make sure that we have all this details. I'm not so concerned about the inside because we're going to cut those panels out. But, you know. All right, that looks pretty good. So then I just, you know, cut these out. And I have them, you know, it's going to fit into here, hopefully. This is getting too dry. But like I said, in a perfect world where you weren't doing things, when I wasn't doing things live, I would have done this in a different sequence of how it goes. But, you know, you try to plan and you just go for the best, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, we're getting the idea that it's a window. And since I already have that shape cut out of the clay, it looks like it translated a little bit larger than the actual window. Even though I cut it out of the clay using these, you know, where I cut it out as my template. And I actually went, you know, not to the outside of them. I angled it in pretty good. You know, gluing them on was a whole different thing. It did distort it a little bit, and I thought I was being so careful, but this one definitely looks like it did stretch. Okay, so let's try to salvage this clay best we can. Maybe use it for something down the road. But I don't want to put it in that package. I'm purposely leaving it outside the package. I've got the damp paper towel in there. I'm going to look for it not to really touch that paper. I don't want it sitting on that paper towel. Maybe a little bit of it can, because it's so dry. Now, all I did for the pins is I cut. And this X-Acto knife is getting really tired, and it was one of those things I know we needed from Staples, but when it came time to go in, do you think I would remember? No. I'm one of those gals that goes to the store, has the shopping list in my pocket, not even in my purse. It's in my pocket, and I forget to look at it, and I'm going through the store thinking, what do I need? What do I need? All I have to do is remember that it's in my pocket. But, you know. And I am not cutting to the actual windows. I am at the top and the bottoms. But where they meet, I'm giving it a little extra room. You're not going to really notice that in the long run, where the little sashes came, the little the individual pane sashes. But I'm trying to give a little more meat to the actual sashes and stuff for our purpose. And, you know, we're going to try and clean that up. The other one was, could have been better. But it was live video, so, you know. We can, you know, add lines. Like, you know, you see me do this all the time. Little toothpicks and stuff, or this X-Acto knife, you can add little lines to make, because there's like a few lines I see there. But to tell you that God's honest truth with everything that you got going on here, and then it's a cute little night light, whatever, like a little fairy light thing, I don't think anyone's going to be looking at that detail if you missed it. Hello, you. How are you? It's Yusuf. How are things for you? Where are you watching from? I like to play in my sandbox. And let me see if we have anyone watching. Let me just take a minute, and maybe you could answer. Yusuf said hi. Okay. And we'll go. I can't see my lives. Strange. Interesting. I just don't know where to find it, apparently. My channel, shorts, videos, live. There we go. So my volume should be down. And I'm doing this because I want to see if anyone's commenting. And apparently, I mean, I can't reach it to see it, but there's no likes on it yet, so I can't. The only ones that can watch on YouTube right now are people that subscribe to me. I'm just a little fish in the sea, Yusuf. So I'm guessing, are you in Europe, Yusuf? It must be late if you are. And just cutting out panes on a window. Just what you want to be doing on a Wednesday night, right? But it's going to be so cute. It's unexpected. And you know, I kind of like that if you follow me. And again, you should have a better little cutting knife than this. But beggars can't be choosers. We're doing it. And no fun making fun of, no fair making fun of if I'm making funny faces. Not allowed. Because I don't know about you guys, but when you're concentrating, do you make funny faces? I just can't help it. It's a thing. Okay, and another one. Hopefully this holds out. This is kind of cracking because, again, our clay was so dried out from doing our live and even before the live. What I found the other day when I was working on this bureau is my clay was getting dry. So what I did before I left that night is I went ahead, believe it or not, and just sprayed the inside of that bag with my continuous mist sprayer and the bottled water that's in it. Didn't necessarily, not trying to. I actually did. Okay, sorry. I gotta take it back. I took this and I opened it up. Okay, and I just sort of sprayed from a distance just to get some water in there, and then I let that sort of kind of cook in here, and it did work much better for me. So you could try that. All right, so now that we have a window, let's clean up those edges a little bit. I like to use this little sculpting tool. Apparently it's from Dull Sculpting. Okay. It could be a toothpick, whatever you have that you have handy that works for you is the tool you use. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be fancy. I'm going to smooth that out. We can take and dampen the edge because it's getting a little dried out already, more than it was. This clay's been through a lot today. So now before we glue this onto here, right, we want to try to, oh, we got a little gap there. We'll fix that. We'll put a piece of clay in there. I want to put something in here, guys. Let's see. And then what I decided too is I think I should have just done a whole piece of the tissue instead of the little girl. So do I dare? Do I dare you guys try to take this off? I don't know. And just redo her. Oh, let's see. Let me see. There. Okay. Now I got a hot mess to clean there, but I salvaged that because, you know, I don't want to waste it. Right, Yusuf? We don't want to waste it. And someone is watching on YouTube. I don't see any comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoever is watching, I appreciate it. If you're new to me, I appreciate that. I'm playing in the sandbox here for sure after our IOD, Iron Orchid Designs live on the first and third Wednesdays of every month. And then I pop on every now and then. Whenever I go onto my page, basically, I can now come on to YouTube and our web page, which is seaporium.com. So if you prefer to go there, you can do that. Just go into the menu and choose the option that says watch live video, I think, basically. Something to that effect. I can't remember what I called it. So, you know, we got to clean our hot mess here, though. We're going to peel this bat off. I'm so sad to see him go, but if I can clean him, we can just glue him back on. Let's get some rubbing alcohol, you know, nothing fancy. Whatever you have in your bathroom will work. That's the best thing to clean, like your glass and ceramics, metal, because it doesn't leave a residue. It's going to all evaporate. Okay. All right, I'll take care of that after. So now this, I'm wondering if this is still pliable enough that I can zhuzh this over. Right? I think this was shy a little bit. Just sort of squishing it over a little bit. Just using the lines that are already there to kind of help move. Okay, without it cracking, hopefully. That's the other thing we got to be mindful of. If we keep stretching this, it's gonna want to crack. And we don't want that, right? We try so hard to not have it crack. And typically whenever I'm working with the molds and to keep it from cracking, I'm pressing the clay in instead of squishing it outward. But so let's do our little decoupage behind the window. Now for that, if you take a napkin, or if you have like the tissue, the white tissue, gift wrap tissue, right? Oh, and by the way, you guys, check it out. Those who know me know I love my Scullies, right? And I got this at Marshall's. It's my birthday money. So I love my Scullies. My husband said, "How much is it?" And I just kept looking at him and I said, "It's birthday money." It's birthday money. How much is it? It's birthday money. That's how much it is. It didn't matter. It was birthday money. It was getting spent. So, you know, I don't do a lot. I don't ask for a lot. It's, you know. So it was a napkin, and I separated them. I prefer to do a method where you just take the napkin and you, right, with your lips. It doesn't have to be wet. You actually want them pretty dry. And then if you, that might not do it on your first try, might not do it on your second try. Just keep puckering your lip on it, and you'll find that it separates. And this one actually has 3 plies. So there was 1 and 2, and then this is the 3rd ply. So okay, I still don't see a way to find if anyone's commenting on YouTube. I came up with an idea, but that didn't work. So you're gonna watch. This is gonna disappear too. See how nice and dusty and dirty that is? It's gonna disappear just like the other one did. Guarantee it. So I have this. Oh, and I guess we could have kept it out. We'll use this palette. And we're going to do a bigger section of our tissue. And we're going to do, let's try a bigger image that maybe has a little more of an impact in our window. So maybe this gal, she's bigger. Right? Well, you really can't tell. Can't tell the gal. Let's see. Let's try something else. I even thought the fairy, because since we're doing this sort of a Halloween theme, right? We're going to be doing like these colors, right? That's going to be the cobblestone. We're going to do the grays, and then after we seal it, we can wash in the black. Right? I thought we could maybe this gal, or this gal. I don't think she'll show up very well though. Or the guy, the scary guy. And there's a boy, but I guess you could do, well, for the holidays, you could fit a piece of this Christmas tree in. But I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to just do a little bit of this gal right here. And I'm not even going to bother to cut out the stamp. We're going to do it right in spot there. In my live, right, I have my black ink pad, and I thought, oh, we're going to show you how we can add ink to the ink pad. In case you have a fresh one, you can see how we add ink, right? Problem is I have the black ink pad. It says so right here. I wrote black on there, and apparently the ink I put in there was green. So now this, I have to write down that it's green-black. Won't be using that too often. But another way of doing the inks is a brayer. So that we would just take the pad itself, right, and just tap the ink on our stamp. But since I didn't pull out another one, what I did is and I could also take the brayer and put it over the ink pad if you have both. But for this purpose, I'm just taking, I have these little plates. Paper plate will work. Whatever you have around, those acetate sheets would work. Okay. And let's do a little stamp of her. Now you want to do this on a protected surface. I put my, not that it matters because it's my craft table, but just for the purpose of video, I'm being mindful that I'm protecting my surface for this ink because it's a very thin tissue, isn't it? It's very, very thin. So then we're just going to take and we're going to stamp her. Let's just go over here. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not saving this. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself, you guys. All right, so just press that down. And we can zoom in a little bit. You don't want it to move. And then we're going to take our wipey, and afterwards they get washed in the sink with warm soapy water and maybe a Adobe pad or a soft nylon brush, right? I'm going to put that aside because I'll forget about her. And then we can just take, yay, my brush didn't dry out with the glue on there. I'm going to scrub that with my scrubby soap after. Be good to go. So now we can just sort of cut out an area around her because she's going to go behind the whole window. And the best way to cut when you're decoupaging is the soft edges, right? And we're going to and in this case, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and I think we're just going to put her on, I think like that, we decided, right? Oh, she's got to go down more. Thank you, Sandra. You're the best. Thank you for letting me know. That one died out pretty fast. This one's actually going to go too. All right, so that's clean, and we can do the same thing that we did to this window, but we're going to do the bat with the little girl on the tissue paper and glue that in with this window. I salvaged it. I took it off, so we're going to make that work. When this is all dry, I'm going to try and do video tomorrow. We'll do our little fixes, okay? I can take this mold. I can do one of these and show you what I had in mind. This clay it's really going through the ringer today. These look like bushes to me. Press that in there really good. I'm going to wet this a little bit. This clay is getting so dry now because it's been out so long today, and it's been reused, and more cornstarch and this and that and the other. But I'm not giving up on it. It's just not giving up on it. I don't like to waste. Okay, let's see how this comes out. I want to give you the idea in case you can't see what I'm talking about. Right? Doesn't that look like a bush? Maybe cut this out. And like that could be a bush by the door. You paint it green, right? Another little bush. We could do drop in, right? Have some of, maybe you put a few fern leaves on there to kind of seal the deal that it's leaves, right? Tiny little ends of these little leaves. Put that on there. That would work. But then I thought, okay, we could also, I had this probably a few years now, and I've never found a reason to use them, and this would be good. We can paint these up, paint some of these up, these little die cuts, right? You know, maybe put a spider, we'll have a roof, right? We have the little web, we could put a little cat. The cat I wouldn't put behind the window though, if you're thinking that, because it's flat and I can't bend this little wood. You know, we have little bats. You know, if I try to bend that, it's not going to work out so well, and it'll distort that window. But we can put them, you know, on there after. I got a little ghost. So that'll be fun to kind of add those to it. Now let me show you really quick the roof. Roof was not easy. The roof was quite the issue. And that's what took up a lot of my day. And like I said, this was supposed to start out as a stamp project on wood blocks, but it didn't happen. I'm going to change my battery out for a second because this is going to go dead pretty soon, and I'm going to get in this other subject and it's going to go dead. So give me 1 second. I have these dowels, different sizes, but I picked this one. I thought it looked good size to be a chimney on these caps, right? So then I drill a hole at the center of the cap. We did that on the other video. If you're curious, you've never used a drill, all right? We take, and I drilled right through, but you want a metal drill bit if you're going to go through these metal caps. I think this little bit of metal probably wouldn't make a difference, but you know, if we're going to dot our I's and cross our T's, use a metal bit. They make different bits for wood and for metal. And so literally just found my center and drilled a hole right in there, okay? and I went right through and I drilled into the dowel. All right. And we have one right here. Okay, the screw's through there. Once this is painted, we'll screw this on. We'll take and power, we'll use our drill driver, whatever. It's not really a driver, but you know. The driver actually has like a force that pushes it in, but oh, that's on backwards. There we go. Okay, just screw it right in there, but we got to get it done first. So, to make the pattern for this roof, okay, that's what this is. It was a lot of trial and error. And what I had done is I took the cutting mat and I held the dowel up to it, right? And it's a little less than an inch. So then I put it about halfway between the 1 inch, between the 0 and the 2 inch, and I made it a scoop, a circle shape, okay? And then you want to add a little extra inside of that. See how I have this extra? And I cut these little darts out of it. Let me see if I can zoom in. See that? So my circle was more up in here where I cut, and then I cut the darts. So now, based on, and what I did it with was leftover transfer paper, the backing. Okay, this is from the old tubes. All right, I like using these for like stencils and things because they're cloudy and they're kind of stiff, and I don't know where you buy Mylar anymore. I used to know when I did walls and stuff, but you know, these are handy. If you're going to do like a one-time stencil, they're great. But it's also good that I can see what I'm working with, and I was holding my little dowel to this and making sure that that worked, right? I also cut an extra, see how this side comes up more? So that I have room to glue. Okay, we can overlap and we can glue. How easy is this? Oh, we got to zoom back out, sorry. So I'm going to hold on to this and I'm going to mark it and I'm going to put it somewhere. I'm going to remember where it is. Yeah, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. But I'm going to save it, and maybe I will find it someday when I do these again, right? And so then I just took, you know, like card weight, you know, a little bit thicker than card weight. It's not corrugated cardboard, but it's thicker than the cardstock. And instead of trying to get the roof pattern to all go straight down, I just did it straight across. I took my stamp, I inked it up, and literally just went boom, inked it up again, boom, inked it up again, boom. But see how this is a little amiss here? I went up too high. So I'm going to paint this again, and we're going to do it again, but, you know, boom, boom. What I found is there's no way we're going to be able to do it like this, and do it like this, and do it like this, and have it look good. So, I think as long as you're looking at it pretty much straight on, you get the idea of what this is, okay? Yes, you might see it from the back, but I think you still get the idea that it's a roof. It was just easier this way. And I think it still translates well. So when I get this repainted, I'll glue this somehow. It's not going to be easy. And we're going to glue it to the dowel. All right, with these little tabs, okay? These tabs are going to have the glue on it, and that's what's going to hold on to this. And then I'm also going to glue it on to where it meets the cap. I'm going to put some hot glue probably around here. And that'll all be glued. I'm also going to put glue before I attach the chimney. That's what these are, by the way, chimneys. Okay, we're doing all this. We're gonna oh, I wanted to show you. I'm taking my brayer with the black ink. I'm gonna paint these a better color, but just to show you how I did this. Okay. That's the brick portion of, again, Portobello Road. And I'm just gonna roll it. And you're going to try to be mindful of where you started and stopped. If you try and do it nice and straight, a little gap there, but could always try and take like a little marker and fill that in. My other one came out great. I need my Scully water. Okay, so this will be over this. Our door will get glued on, right? That'll be on. We'll have our chimney. And we're going to try and really put this together tomorrow. Sorry. It's probably a good time to call it quits because my throat says that's it. Enough talking. If you have any questions, if you're on our website, please use the contact form. Email us at seaporium@gmail.com. You can go, you can text me. The phone number that's advertised is my cell number. There's so many ways to reach me. If you're on any of these other platforms, on Facebook or YouTube, just comment or you can message me. Either way, if you're too shy. But believe me, if you have a question, somebody else has the same question. All right? I guarantee it. Don't be shy. You're helping someone else. And again, I'm hoping to jump on tomorrow. I really need to do, I have so much to do. I got to get this done. I got to get this out of here. I got to get this mailbox. I got to rework it because I don't like what I had started. I got bookkeeping I got to do. So will tomorrow definitely happen? Probably not. But that's my hope because I really want to get this done so I could just concentrate on this other stuff, right? All right. Until I see you again. Again, shop online. Shop, Seaporium.com. If you put /collections, it brings you right to our categories page to see the Dixie Belle. We're also authorized retailers for their paints and their DIY products. Iron Orchid Designs. We have some of our local artist products here. And if you're a fan of Harry Potter, we do have 2 of the sorting hat candles that our gal from Warm Delights Crafts brought in. But today she came in and she's just a bundle of sunshine. Jill brought us 2 Jack Skellington candles. These don't usually last too long. They're very popular. So if you like Jack Skellington, you like The Nightmare Before Christmas, grab it. We also have a Poison Apple, a Grim Reaper, and a cool little like a branch. It has a owl and a skeleton. It's really cool. And there's a fortune teller one that's new. So if you're interested in any of those ideas, PM me, DM me, email me, and I can send you pictures, send you the link to pay and all that. I will be posting those pictures hopefully in the next day or 2. All right. And I will keep you up to date on what's happening with the store. And until I see you again, stay sassy. Thanks so much for being